We are here, you kindly start. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. I can hear you.
Can you see my white screen? Okay, hello, good morning once again.
Morning.
Yeah, please, if you can hear me, can I hear about 2 to 3 more response so that I'll be sure that. Let me hear from about 2 to 3 more.
I'm with you. I can hear you.
Yes, can hear you.
I hear you.
Oh, okay, okay.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Good morning. Lily.
So please, the training organizer, the chief administrator, if you can share my screen so that I can run through what Musa was trying to present a while ago. Can you see my screen?
Whose screen are we supposed to be seeing?
The Microsoft Office. The screen with the Microsoft Office.
No, we can't see that.
All I can see is a PDF.
Hello, Umar.
The subject there.
Administrator? Umar, who is the administrator, please?
The administrator is
Alvan, sir.
Mr. Alvan.
Okay, Alvan, we are looking at Musa Chindo's screen. They said close that one and then share that of Umar so that we can start. It's almost 1 hour. We know that if we have teaching challenges, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes is acceptable, but 1 hour is not acceptable. Remove that shared screen and share that of Umar.
Okay, good. Can we move on?
Yes, yes. Let's move on, please.
Okay, okay. So good morning once again. Please, sorry for the technical hiccup from the beginning of this training. First of all, I would like to mention that the data set and all the related material are available on this link, which you can get on GitHub. I think I can copy it and then share it in the message, just in case if you don't have access to it earlier. So I shared it a while ago. You should be able to get it, or just copy it and download the materials. So when you are there, the presentation for Musa was supposed to be on GIS. That's introduction to GIS, before we move into the practical section proper. So unfortunately, we couldn't make the presentation because of the technical issue from his end. And I'm not the one that wrote this presentation, but I will do my best to go through it and explain it to you. So GIS stands for Geographic Information System. And as you know from the title of the training, is on QGIS introductory training. So the Q is actually for the software we are going to use. Then the GIS stands for Geographic Information System. And there are a lot of applications of GIS, which includes making maps, getting directions, getting topographical information, and so on. So GIS is applicable to anything that has location, that's anything that is related to a location, anywhere on the Earth surface or below the Earth surface or above the Earth surface. GIS is applicable to it. You can apply GIS to it. This is what GIS is. And as you can see, GIS is applied to management information system and even the integrated payroll, the famous integrated IPPIS information system. So probably you already know what GIS is. It's just that maybe you have not been to a formal training or a formal school to really get to know what GIS is. But if you have, for once in your lifetime, use a digital map, either the digital map in your car to navigate your way around the city, then you are already using GIS. So what it has there is just some basic maps. On the left hand here, we have a topographical map. Then on the other side, we have an administrative map. So a map is just a representation to scale of a 2D surface. So there are a lot of theoretical knowledge behind GIS and map making in general, and a lot of mathematical calculations and assumptions. So if you remember what you did in your O-level mathematics, probably you would have covered a topic known as longitude and latitude, where you calculate angles, distances, bearings, and so on between points. So GIS has a component that is the hardware component, people, data, the procedure, and then the software. So basically in this training, our focus is going to be on the software. We are not going to talk much about the data, about the procedure, about the network. So when you are conducting a GIS, you need to capture the data, store it, then manipulate it, analyze it to get answer to your real world problems. As I've mentioned, some of the areas you can use GIS are mapping, measurement, monitoring, modeling, and so on. So I think that is what he has in this presentation. And I hope I've done justice to Malam Musa. So this is just a high-level introduction to GIS. We can move on to the practical aspects. And before now, I expected that you should have downloaded a copy of the software we are going to use for this training. So this training is going to be more of like a project base. But before then, definitely I will take you through the basics of the software itself. The software is about 400 MB in size if you have to download it. But I will not, but I won't recommend anybody to start downloading it now. If you have not downloaded it, then probably you should just follow along on the screen, and later on you can get a copy. Because downloading a copy now will probably take the whole time we have for this training. So you can get a copy from the official website, yeah? And then it's available for all major operating systems, including Windows, Linux, Mac, and even the Android phones. So the installation of the software is straightforward. When you download the installer, just double click on it, run, it will run next, and then to get to a final screen where you need to click on finish to finish the installation. So I don't think there's a problem with that. Even if you have a problem with that, at least I'm aware there are some colleagues, some of your colleagues who have already downloaded and installed the Qgis. So let's get familiar with the interface of the Qgis. So the interface is just like any other software. If I launch my own, so the interface should look similar to what I have here if you launch it for the very first time. If you just install it for the first time and you're launching it for the first time, you probably not have this recent project because it's going to be like a virgin software. So here is the interface, and it's just like any other software. From the top, you have the title bar, you have the menu bar, then you have the tools bar, then on the left, you have the layer panel, and in the center here, you have the map canvas. This is where you display all your map, all the maps you're going to work with. So QGIS software is a data-driven software. If you just download it, install it, you can't actually do anything with it if you don't have data. So you need data to be able to use the software. So where do we get data? So for the purpose of this training, the data is once again shared on this repository. But if you need to actually get administrative data, for Nigeria or for any other country at all, you can use this source. So just in case if there is any changes, assuming something happened in Nigeria towards the northeastern region and some states are carved out, or towards the southern region and some states are carved out, this database, global database of global administrative areas, will definitely update the administrative boundary in the country. So not only Nigeria, you can also get the data for other countries. So here I am on the AGM website, and if you go to countries, you can select any country of your choice, and then you can get the administrative boundary map for that country, another detailed map for that country. So here our focus here is Nigeria. So, but of course, just be aware that if you need to present, if you need to work on other countries' administrative boundary, you can get it from there. So at the moment, our focus is on Nigeria. So this is where I got the data from. But even though I know that I have modified some of the data. So here, if I go back to my desktop, I have the files for this presentation arranged in this folder. So the data we are going to use for this actually in the data folder. So this is the data, the entire data for this presentation. So one of the common GIS file types is the shapefile, which is denoted by .shp. As you can see, I named the folder shp for shapefile. So if I open it, you see that I have more than one file. So a shapefile is actually made up of at least 3 files, which includes the shp file, which is this one on my PC. Then the DXF file, that's the database file, the DBF file, sorry. Then we have the SHX file. So these 3 actually made up what is known as a shapefile. And this is a standard file format in GIS. Even though there are other file formats, such as CSV, AML, GeoJSON, and so on and so forth. But the primary one is the shapefile. We are going to be working with the Nigerian administrative boundary as a shapefile in this case. So just to point out is to you, if you really want to manipulate and edit GIS files, the file needs to be in a shapefile format. If you have the file in another format, such as CSV, GeoJSON, and others, it will be difficult to manipulate it in a common GIS program. So having said that, I'm going to copy the parts. I'll copy the parts to this folder. Then I will open up the shapefile in the QGIS. So to load your data in QGIS, you need to go to the layer menu and then add layer. So I'm going to demonstrate it now. When you go to your QGIS file, you can go to layer, then add layer, add vector layer. So here I'm adding a vector layer because what I have for the Nigerian administrative boundary is a vector map and it's a vector layer. I hope you know the difference between a vector and a raster. A raster is just an image, a picture, a raster. Then vector are lines, points, and polygons. So QGIS allow you to add a lot of data formats. And as you can see them here, some of them are listed here. The very basic ones are the vector and then the raster layer. Then we'll have the limited text layer file, which is CSV file. We're going to use it later. Then we also have the databases, such as QGIS, which is just an extension for PostgreSQL database. We'll have Oracle, DB2, Microsoft SQL. So all these are database layers that you can add directly into QGIS. So for this introductory training, we'll limit ourselves to just working with a vector layer and then a delimited text layer. That is a CSV file, a normal Excel file. So here I'm at layer, add vector layer. So if I click on that, the screen will appear where I'm going to select the location of my vector file. Let me close it and show you another option. You can actually use the button icons, use the add vector layer icon to do the same thing. So you can do the same thing by clicking on this button and then select your file, select this button, then navigate to wherever the location of that file. So you can see it's showing us many files, but we are interested in just the shapefile that ends with .shp. So to be specific about the file, you need to go to all these file formats, then select S3 shapefile .shp. So here we have just the Nigerian state shapefile. So let me go back there and show you all the files that are supported in QGIS. So all these files are supported in QGIS. And all of these are different vector file formats. If you're familiar with AutoCAD, this is AutoCAD Excel file. If you're familiar with JSON, this is GeoJSON, GeoPackage, PML, KML for Google Earth files, and so on. So all these are different files formats you can select. So, but we are interested in just the shapefile. So select shapefile, then select my file, then click on open. It's going to add the path to that file here. Then I'll click on add.
Please, Simon, if you can hear me, mute your mic.
When you click on add, click on close. So you can see I have my vector map added to my map canvas. I hope I'm not too fast. And I hope the training organizer is recording the session so that you can share the recorded screen later. So this is how you add your vector map to your QGIS map canvas. So here I'm going to remove it. So I simply right click and then say remove layer. Okay to remove. Then I'll repeat the same process to add the map back. I'll go to layer, add vector layer, then navigate to the location where I have the shapefile, select it. If you are seeing so many files here, make sure you select S3 shapefile here to filter out the specific shapefile here. So click on open, then click on add. Then click on close. So this is it. So one thing you should notice is that each time you add a vector layer into GIS, it will come with a different color. So the color choice is random. Don't worry about that. If you need the map to be displayed in a particular color, you can do that by going here. You right click on the layer, then select properties. Then from the property dialog box, simply fill color. Then you can click on this fill color to choose the color you want. Let's assume I need this variant of green color. I'll click on OK, click apply, then click on OK. So you see we have changed the map color. Let me go back to my slide to see what we have there. So let's learn how we can palm, zoom, select feature, and label feature. Then we can move on to a more specific project. So here, of course, the palm, from the icons, you can see the palm map icon. You can see move, zoom. This is for zooming in. This is for zooming out. You can even use the roller on your mouse to roll in, roll out, to zoom accordingly. The palm is to drag the map from one corner to another. Then, if you want to select a particular polygon on the map, this is select feature. When you click on it, there are so many options. You can select feature by clicking once. You can select feature by polygon. You can select feature by freehand. You can select feature by radius. So all these are different ways to select. So if I use this select option, if I click once to select the feature, if I use this select by polygon, if I click and drag, click around to make a polygon, then right click to select all the selected states. Then select by freehand. If I click and then move my mouse and then click back to select the polygons for me. Then select by radius. You click once, then you make a cycle to create a radius, and then to select the states for you. So if you are selected, you can, if a feature is selected, you can unselect it by clicking on this icon. So let me use this. Assuming I selected Abuja, I can zoom to Abuja, zoom to selection by using this icon, zoom to selection. I need to zoom to Abuja. And I can use this icon to clear the selection. So here I've cleared the selection. So I can also right click on the map layer, then zoom to layer. So let me show you what make a GIS environment different from a graphic design environment. Because I'm sure somebody will be saying, okay, why don't I make use of Coreldraw or Photoshop to make some of these maps instead of using a more scientifically inclined software like QGIS to make my maps. So if you right click on the layer, there is what is known as attributable. You open up the attributable. This is a table, just like a normal Excel table. We have the state code, the state name, the state capital, and then the geographical locations of those states. So this table is actually linked to this map. And that is a powerful feature that a Photoshop software or Coreldraw or any of these graphic design software cannot have. So if, for example, I need to select just some particular state in a particular geographical region. So if I'm going to use Photoshop, for example, to select all the states in south or southeast, in Photoshop, I will have to go manually, click on them manually to select them. But with a GIS software, all I need to do is open up my attributable, then perform what is known as query. And from here, you can see here we have the select feature using expression. So you can create a simple query here to make your selections. So this selection is very powerful. In fact, it works just like the normal SQL database language. As if you're familiar with databases, you use a particular programming language known as structured query language, SQL, to interact with the database. So let's use the select statement. So here I'm going to use the buttons here to write out the expression instead of typing it from my head. So if you don't know how to write the SQL expression, you can use the buttons here to help you out. So from the attribute table, we have the name column or name field. So if I double click on it, so this is state name. So state name then in brackets, I can now put in the names I want. So instead of typing the names, let me get the unique names. So assuming I need Abia, of course, I'll separate it by comma. Then maybe Apaibo, and separate it by comma. Then let's say Delta. Let's leave it at this 3. So select state. That's the state column where Abia, Apaibo are within the column. So this will a select feature to select those particular states. As you can see from the attribute table, you can see selected features are 3. So if I go back to my map, you see that those 3 states are selected. So this is what makes the QGIS or a GIS software different from a graphical design software such as Coreldraw or Photoshop. So let me select all the geographical locations that are in, let's say, southwest. So geographic, that's the geographic column. This column that are southwest. So go back to my expression, then click on select, close it. You see that all the southwestern states are selected, which are 6 of them. So I can click on this icon to clear the selection. So how about if I want to label the map? Assuming you are writing a report and you needed to include to show a map of Nigeria, for example, to clarify some points in your report. Of course, you would like to label the map. So to label the map with the names of those states, that's the names from these columns, any of these columns. You can do it like this. If you right click, go to properties, then go to label. So label, I select single label, then select the field. That's one of those columns you want to use as the name of the label. Let's use the state name as an example. So if I select it, click on apply. So if I go back, you see that all the states are labeled. And if I wish to buffer the labeling, I can come back here under labeling and then check this box. I can play around with these colors, but for now, I'll just leave it at that. And then click on apply. So if I'm okay, I can click on okay. Then as you can see, I have all the states labeled. So you can use any of those columns to label your map. Let's go back and use another different information to label the map. So right click on the layer, go back to properties, then select single label, then select the column you want to use for the label. Let's use the geographical locations. That's whether the state is northeast, northwest, and so on. So click on OK. And then you see that NWZ, Northwest Zone. All the states in Northwest Zone are labeled as Northwest Zone. The North Central, NCZ. North Central are labeled as North Central. And North Southwest Zone are labeled as Southwest Zone. Same apply to other zones across the country. So let me go back to my presentation here. So here I have a small project. The first project is this, which is going to be on spatial visualization and analysis of Nigeria, of the agency, NIMC. So this is the data we are going to use for this demonstration. If you open up, if you have downloaded a copy of the file, you should have this very file in the download. It contains two columns. The first one is the state. Then other columns are just showing the enrollment per state per year. So for each year, we have different enrollment number for each state. So I would like to point out that this data is not actually a real data. This is just a made-up data. So it's not real. This is a fake data. So in 2015, in Adamawa State, about 13,700 people enrolled for the national identity card. Then in 2016, this number enrolled, 2017, and so on. So if you go down, Bayelsa, we have this number in 2015, 16, 17, 18, up to 2020. Of course, we have not reached 2022 and 2021. So obviously, you know that this data is not real. So permit me to use this for this demonstration. So usually in your office work, you have a data like this, where you need to link it to a map and then visualize the trend in your data collection. So one thing I would like to mention here is that there are other ways of visualizing data, of course. There are other methods of extracting information from data. So there are different charts you can use to communicate what is in the data. But in this case, I am more concerned with linking your data to a map, using map to communicate your data. So that is why I'm not going to talk about other parts. So for this data to be mapped, we need, we need to have at least one column that is associated with geographical location. And here we have states that is associated with geographical location. Later on, we are going to see some other data type, the data we are going to use in this training that are more concerned with data that have other columns that are not states, that have other fields such as longitude and latitude that you can use to make your maps. So how do you take this data into your QGIS environment? So let's see that. So at the end of the day, we are going to produce something similar to what we have here. So what, before I go into doing that practically, I would like to take you to the very last project. So the last project is going to be like a hands-on visualization training to visualize the training participants. And then I have a Google link, that's a Google form here that I would like every participant to fill out his or her information. Don't worry, I'm not going to collect, it's not going to collect any sensitive information from you. Even if you're not comfortable sharing any of the information here, you can just fill a random information and we'll use it for the third project. So please, I'm going to drop it in the chat section. Can I see the chat? So let me drop the link in the chat section. You just go there, just fill it. It's about 3 or 4 fields. When you fill it, then when we get to this section, we are going to use it for this practical demonstration. And doing that will definitely acquaint you with the process of getting longitude and latitude values of any location in the world or of anywhere. And it also, you also see it in real life, how data have been mapped. Because the first 2 projects assumes that you have a clean data. So, but the last project doesn't have data. We are going to build the data by ourselves from scratch. So we need to fill the form, and then I will show you different problems with you will encounter when you are making a map. So data don't just come in clean format the way you have them here. Data will definitely come in a messy form. You are the one that will clean it, prepare it, and then extract the relevant information from it. So let's go back to the first project. At least you have seen the content of our CSV file, and we want to link it to our GIS map. So going back to my map, by now I assume you are familiar with the process, some of the basic things like the palming of the map, zooming, labeling, and so on. So I'm going to off the labeling on the map. So I'll go back, right-click, go back to properties, and under the label tab, I will select no label, then click on OK. So the labels will disappear. So for me to bring this data, this enrollment data into the QGIS environment, what I need to do is to locate where I have the data. So the data is named Project 1, National Identity Card Enrollment. So I'll copy the part, go back to my QGIS. So the data we are bringing is not a shapefile. Remember that it is a CSV file, which is just an Excel file. So the reason why I'm not using a The reason why I'm not using a traditional Excel file is Excel is somehow difficult to handle because Excel usually comes with all sorts of formatting in it. But a CSV file clean up all those unnecessary formatting and leaves you with just the text for manipulation. So to add your CSV file, which doesn't have longitude and latitude column, you need to add it just as if you are adding a shape file. So you can use the add layer, add vector layer button, or you go to the layer menu, then you go to add layer. So add vector layer. So from here, I can now click on this button and navigate to the location of the file. So as you can see, I'm there, but I still can't see the file. So remember, this is where the magic happens. The file type is set to shapefile. So we need to set it, we need to change it to CSV, that is comma separated value file. Or you can simply set it on all files so they can see all the files. But if you want to filter unnecessary files, just select the appropriate file format. So here I've selected comma separated value file, that's .csv. So these are all the CSV files we are using for this training. So the one I'm interested in is this national identity card. One. Select it. So it's going to add the title. Then I need to click on add. And then add it to my map here and click on close. So here I have my website. And I click on it. I can open up the attributes. So I open it up as an attribute table, and then you can see the exact columns we have in the spreadsheet file idea in my QGIS environment. So our file is there, but even though it's here, it's still not added. It's not linked to the map. So we need to bring this map, carry out our analysis. So if I open up, the attribute for the map, you see that our spreadsheet data is not there. So I need to bring the spreadsheet file there. So in order to do this, I'll go back, right click on my map, then select properties. So from the properties dialog box, I'll go to join. So here I'm going to join that project 1 CSV file to the map. So I need to click on add, this add new join button. So down below here, you see a green plus sign. So click on it, then select join layer, is the CSV file. Then the join field, I'm going to join it based on state. So the state name is found in the attribute table of the map. So that's why I need to join it based on the state. So the target field on the map is going to be the state name. So I'm joining state to state, if you understand what that one is. So here I have some couple of options to choose from. Join layer and virtual memory. I can check the option, dynamic form, enable joining layer, then join field attribute. So here I'm going to select all of this, so that all the enrollment years are imported into the map. Then custom field name. So here I'm going to simplify the name. This is just a name. This is just the name that will kind of distinguish the join layer name from the existing attribute columns on the map. So here I'm going to use project 1 as the prefix for the names of the new layers of the new columns. So I'm going to click on OK. And then you see that my layer is being added to the join dialog box. So I can click on apply and then click on OK. So if I now go back to the attributes layer of the map, so if I open up the attributes table, you see that I have all the extra columns, all the new columns from my CSV file here, enrollment year 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, being added back to the map. So these are linked to the map. So this can never, you can't have this feature in Coreldraw or Photoshop. So if somebody is telling you that use Photoshop to make your maps, and you're going to wow your boss, is deceiving you. Of course, there are things that are better done in Photoshop or Coreldraw. There are aesthetic maps that are easily done in Photoshop. But if you need to work with data, you need to work with scientific facts, then you need a GIS software such as Qgis. So here I have my Excel file or CSV file added here. So, but there's a problem here. If you look at the columns, all these columns are supposed to be numeric. But if I check the column type, let me go back, right click on the layer, then go to properties. I want to check the column, the field types. So under the field tab, I will check the field types. So all these columns, the new columns, the enrollment for 2015, 2016, 2017, up to 2022, they are actually numbers, numeric fields. They are supposed to be numeric fields, not string. So, but you can see it is being joined with a wrong type. So this is string, but instead it should be a number. So let's quickly fix that. Because if we don't do that, we will not be able to perform some kind of numeric analysis. For example, if you want to find the average for a year, if you want to find the average for a year and then display the result on the map, it won't be possible because the program is reading it as a string, not as a numeric data type. So in order to do that, you need to go here, go to processing, then toolbox. So under processing toolbox, just search for refactor field. Let me write it in full. Refactor field. So this is the tool we're looking for. So double click on it to open it. So when it opens, make sure you select the right layer. I'm selecting the Nigerian state, that is this layer. And then you can see that I have all the fields type. So here I can change the field types as I want. So there are different field types. The correct format is integer. So the field should be integer, either integer 64 or integer, the normal integer. Any of them will work. Just that integer 64 is a little bit longer than just integer. Just in case if you care to know the difference. But the detail is beyond the scope of this training. If you're into database, you should understand what this field type is. There are different field types in a database. Have the date, the date time, the double. Double is just decimal. There's another name for decimal. We have the string, list, have the booleans. Boolean is just yes or no. So I have successfully changed the field types to integer instead of string to allow us to carry out some analysis, numerical analysis, precise. So with this, I can now click on run. But before I click on run, what this will do is, this is an algorithm that will edit the structure of an attributable and then save it as a new data file. So let me select the location where I will save the file. So here I will just go back to my shapefile folder. Then I'm going to save it with the name Nigerian State. Then maybe enrollments. You can use whatever name you want to use, but use something meaningful. NIMC enrollment. I think this is okay. Nigerian State NIMC enrollment. So that it won't override the previous file. So click on save, then click on run. So the algorithm will run and then it will save our file. So it is finished, it is done. Can now click on close. So here we have our map, our new map added to the map canvas. If I right click on it, open up the attributable, you will see that we have all the columns as they were before. I think we made a little mistake, but we can ignore it and move on that way. We could have given a better name, a shorter name, so that the column name will be updated. But it doesn't matter, since we know that the first one is 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and then the last one is 2022. Just the way we have it in the CSV file here. So we could have used a shorter name, but not to waste much time, I think I will just proceed to show you some of the analysis, and we'll move on to the next project. So this is this layer, we can off it. We don't need it. We can even remove it. Right click and then remove layer. Confirm the remove. So we don't need it. So let's assume we want to have what we have here. Maybe we want to show the result. We want to show how many states. We want to show we want to really understand the pattern. Because if you look at what we have here, this is the raw file. So if you look at the raw file, if you look at, okay, let's take 2015. These are the number of people that enroll for the identity card in Nigeria in the year 2015. If you look at it, it doesn't really make sense. But if you display this value based on range, based on certain range on the map, I think it will make better sense. And then it will communicate faster and even effectively. So let's do that. So first of all, this is the map of Nigeria. We have our Excel data added. So I will just right click and then go to properties. Then I can go to label and then label the state. Select single label. Then I'm going to label, let's assume I'm going to label based on the enrollment in 2015. So I'll select the first column from the newly added CSV file. Then I click on apply. Let me draw the buffer so that we have a highlighted background on the text. So I click on apply. And then as you can see, we already have a map, a beautiful map we can present. So this is the map of Nigeria. And then in year 2015, in this state, this number enrolled for the NIMC scheme. In this state, I think this should be Zamfara or Kebbi. Okay, this should be Kebbi, this should be Zamfara, this should be Sokoto. So in Kebbi, 10,000 people, 10,913 people enrolled in 2015. To make it better, you can even add the name of the states as a label. But that is going to be a kind of complicated process. But let me see if I can quickly show you. You need to label by expression. You go to property label. So instead of label just the field, you need to label by expression. So label by expression. Then you need to select from the field. You need to select the state name. Then you concatenate. Let's concatenate. So here I'm concatenating the new line character. So those of you who know a little about programming, they should understand what this character is, the new line character. \n will give you a new line character. So if you look at the preview from the bottom here, the output preview, we have the state name and then the year, the number of record for this year. This name stand for 2015. That's the column 2015. I didn't name it initially properties. I hope you understand what is going on. So click on OK. Then click on apply and then OK. And then you now see that we have the state name and then the enrollment here. So somebody may be wondering, how do I now take this into maybe my Word environment, Microsoft Word, or wherever I'm typing my report? So it's very easy. There are several ways you can do it. Let's quickly do that. Let me palm a little bit to the left so that I can see my full map. So you can go here under project, then export it as an image. Or better still, you can, okay, let me just finish the process. Export as an image. So we are going to export the map as an image or as a PDF. Well, let's use image. So export as an image. Then of course, let me get my location. So here, let me just create a folder here to see the images. So I'm going to call it image maps. So I'm going to set this location. So I'll copy the path before I go back to my environment. So I don't need these options because I'm not positioning this map for a map for some kind of mapping expert. I'm just presenting it for some purpose. So you don't need to put all these decorations, all this not direct or scale, whatever, what have you on the map. But if you need to do that, you can also do that. So here I'm just going to show you how to export it. Of course, you can work on the resolution. If you need it to be on higher resolution, you can increase it or decrease it accordingly. If you need to change the width and the height of the output, you can work on that. So here I'm just going to click on save. Then I'll go navigate to my location. Then give it a name. Maybe this will be like enrollment 2015. Right? Then I click on save. So if I go back to my folder, you can see the map is there. Can double click on it to open it. I have my map there as an image, which I can add to my presentation. So if I need to add it to a Microsoft Office, all I need to do is just to copy it. If I copy it, then go to my Microsoft Office document, and then I will just paste, and then I have my map there. Can give it a beautiful title. Maybe enrollment 2015. So I hope you got the idea. This is just one way of doing it. So you add it to your report. This is one way of adding it to your report. So another way is what I'm going to show you now. If I go back to my QGIS, so instead of going to the project menu and then exporting it as a file, as an image file, I can quickly use a tool on Windows. If I go to my search tab, I can search for snip and sketch tool. It was formerly snipping tool, but I think the newer version on newer windows should be snip and sketch tool. So I can click on it, open it up. Then I now need to screenshot the map. So make sure the map is well placed, then click on new screenshots, then drag across the map. So here you now have a clean screenshot that you can save. So let me save it to my location here. So I copy the parts, save, and then I'll give it a better name. Maybe let me just call it add one to the extension so that minimize, then go back to my folder. You see that I have the second map here, which I can copy, go back to my Word document, then add it back. So this is how you add your maps. So, but this is just a normal map showing figures and values on top of them. What about if you want to use graphics to explain what the values are? You can use graduated color to color the state based on certain range. So let's quickly do that. So I can go back to properties, right click on the map, go back to properties. Then under symbols. So instead of single, I'll go to graduated symbol. So here I will now select the column that I want to use. So look at this particular analysis. Using this particular analysis is not possible if the columns are string columns. If the column data types are string. So you need to, that was the reason why we changed it to number or integer data type. So remember the first one is 2015. Sorry, I didn't rename the column properly earlier on. So 2015, I select the value range. Then classifier, you can classify it as many times as you want, but let's leave it on 5 for now. Then click on classify. If you wish to increase it, let me take it to 15. Then you can see that we have it here. If you want to change the color, you can work on the color. If you have other specific settings, such as the mode, is it going to be equal interval, quantile, and so on? You can work on them, then classify, then click on apply. Then now when you click on OK, you have a beautiful map just like this. So if you expand what you have here, you can now see that the range, the whitest, the lowest registration in 2015 are those states that have this color, in which Kebbi, Oyo, Yobe, and Plateau, Benue, Edo are the states that have the lowest registration for this year, 2015. Then the highest registration, highest enrollment in 2015 are this state with the dark red color. We have Kwara, Niger, and then Ogun. So this is the range. This is another analysis. Remember, I told you that this data is not real. It's not original data. So please don't use it for any real life or a production job. This shouldn't be used for any production job. This is just for demonstration sake. So in 2015, I have this. I can now take the screenshot, make a new screenshot, capture it, then take it, save it as, maybe I can call it Enrollment 2015 range. Save it. If I go back to my folder, to my working folder, I'll have the map there. Then I can go back to my Word document where I'm writing my reports. Then I can have it there. So this is 2015. 2015. So this is your 2015. So let me quickly do it for 2017, 2016, and 2017. So 2016 and then 2017. So I'll just go back to my map. Then right click on the map, then go to properties. Then instead of 2015 here, I'll change it to 2016. 2016 is the second row, second column. So this is the second column, 2016. Then I click on classify, and click on apply, then click on OK. So this is 2016. I will take the screenshot again, once again. Then go back to my folder and save it. This is going to be enrollment range 2016. Then let me quickly do for 2017. So I could have done it up to 2022, but I don't want to waste much time because time is not on our side. So 2017, remember 2017 will be the third item. First is 2015, 2016, then 2017. That is how we have it here. 2015, 2016, 2017. So I could have done it up to 2022. But I think I will leave that one as an assignment. So please, you complete the remaining year. So we choose 2017, which is the third item, then classify, apply, and OK. So I can now take the screenshots. Then go back to my folder and save it. Enrollment 2017 range. Close. Then if I go back to my folder, 2016, I can now copy it. Including my document, go back and copy my 2017 into my document. So this is it. We now have our maps. So 2017, 2018, 2019. At least if you compare it, you can see the changes. You can see like in 2015, we have high enrollment in Niger and Kwara State, and even Ogun State. What about in 2016? Oh, in 2016, the enrollment in Kwara was very poor. What happened? Could it be that there was crisis then in Niger State? Oh, look at Ogun. Ogun was totally different from what we have in the previous year. Wow. So these are some common questions you can answer. These are some common analysis you can do. I hope you got the idea. So please, you, as an assignment, you continue for the remaining year, 2018 down to 2022, as we have on the data, 2022. So this should be an assignment. I hope you got the idea so that we won't waste much time doing this. So I hope I have done justice to the first project, which is on spatial visualization and analysis of Nigerian national identity card enrollments. So the second project is on geocoding. The second project is on geocoding, but before then, let me hear from you if you are following, so that I can take a cup of water. Are we together? Yeah, you can type in the chat or unmute your mic and speak. Let me hear one or two voices so that I'm sure that I'm not alone. Hello, are we together?
Yeah. You are not alone, sir. We are with you.
Yes. Am I too fast?
Yeah, we have been following you. We have been following you.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. That's good. That's good. So the second project. Yeah. So the second project, and I hope the link I provided for the third project, I hope you are there. You are there filling out the information so that when we get there, we don't have to wait for people to adopt the information.
The link is too long now, so you have to wait for us to get it. It's long.
Okay,
It's too long.
in the chat section. Where can I get the chat? Okay, chat. This link. If you access the chat section, you should be able to click on it and it will open up. The last report, somebody would tell me, I'm not sure I understood your question, but let me scroll back here from the beginning of the file. I think I dropped this link somewhere earlier. You can get the material. The entire material is here. How do I select this? So the entire material is here. Wow. Well, let me just copy it from here. So the entire training material is here. Yeah. So please, you can download it from here, including the data, everything. You can get it from this link, the second link. That is Udemy. I hope I'll satisfy your needs. So let's move on to the second project. So this is about geocoding and reverse geocoding. So here in this project, we are going to look at the NIMC enrollment offices. So assuming you are given a task, or let me start by defining what geocoding is and reverse geocoding. So geocoding is just, to a layman, is just getting longitude and latitude values from a given location, from a given name. If you're given a name, and then you retrieve back the longitude and latitude values, then what you are doing geocoding. I don't want to give any complicated definition here, but the basic thing is you have names of places, you are getting their GPS coordinates in form of longitude and latitude. Then if you are doing the reverse geocoding, what you are doing is getting names of the places from given longitude and latitude values. So geocoding, you go from names to longitude and latitude values. Then reverse geocoding, you go from places, you go from longitude and latitude to the names. So that is what we are going to do here. And here, the data set for this project, number 2, is named Project 2 NIMC FCT Enrollment Centers. So here, if I go back to my web browser, we have enrollment centers here. Is it possible for me to navigate? I think, how did I even got here? Media, no. Services, NIMC, okay. Well, I've forgotten how to go to this page, but there is a page before this. I cannot even go back to all location. Okay, well, I forgot how I got to this page, but where I came from, I think the page was,
You can go back.
there was a map. Yeah, there was a map before I got here. I tried to access the map location, and then I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. So it was just a map, and maybe if I Google it, I can. Yeah, this is it. Enrollment centers. No, this can be it. Let me just continue. So there was a map, and then when I click on the state, I was hoping to get the locations of those state, of that's location in terms of map, in terms of longitude and latitude of those centers. So, but they were not there. So that was what inspired me to come up with this project. Okay, what about if your boss says, okay, please, we need to get the longitude and latitude of all the enrollment centers for each state. But here I'm just looking at that of FCT, because I believe most of the participants in this room are going to be from FCT. But you are also free to follow along to do for other states. So when we are here, then we need to go back to copy this data. So I copied this data, select Alt copy, bring it to the Excel file. I now did some cleaning, and then I was able to get these coordinates attached to each location, each office in Abuja. These are offices, these are enrollment centers in Abuja. But you cannot map them because they are not, they don't have a longitude and latitude values. So we need to obtain this longitude and latitude value to be able to place them on the map, or at least use them in a kind of navigation system, or even use it in our report. So what I did here was I geocoded these addresses to get these longitude and latitude values. So how do I do that? There are different ways. There are different methods you can do it. I think one of the basic, or one of the old ways, I would say, of doing this is you can travel to all of these 36 locations and then use your GPS, either your mobile GPS or your handheld GPS or whatever instrument you have GPS on, then collect the GPS coordinates. But that is not going to be easy, because if you have to travel around Abuja just to get the coordinates of these places, then you know how much you are going to spend. So there are services that can offer you the ability to retrieve coordinates from a given API. And thank God Google is here. Google Map is there. You can use Google Maps, but there is a tool I found, specifically there is a tool I found on the Google Sheets. So let me open it up and see how we'll be able to use it. So here I am. I just open up my Google Drive, and then I have my what do they call it? My Google Spreadsheet open. So Google Spreadsheet is free, it's open to anybody. If you have a Google account, a Gmail account, you already have a Google spreadsheet. So just go to your drive and then create one. So here I created one, and then I copied the information I have in my CSV file here, which are just these two columns. So I copied these two columns, and then I pasted them here, column A and column B. So I don't even have these three columns. Then I use an add-on. Add-on is just an extension. You can add add-ons. So if you click on get add-on, you should be able to add this very particular add-on, known as geocode by something. So just go to, if you don't have it, just go to add-on, then search for geocode by Awesome table, and then install it. It will be available under your add-on in Google Drive. So when you have it, all you need to do is click on, let me delete these columns so that I can demonstrate it. Delete column C and E, yes. So this is the raw data. I don't have the GPS coordinate. So I install this add-on, geocode by Awesome table. Then I click to start the add-on. So here I can now select the address location, or if you want to combine these two for better results, you can use this option. Your addresses in multiple columns. When you click on this option, it will allow you to combine this or more columns so that you have better results. So this service uses Google Maps. And as you know, Google is one of the best services you can get out there. So for now, for this demo sake, let me just select this column and then click on geocode. So I select the address column, which is this, and then I click on geocode. So it will start geocoding the addresses. So this red means the API couldn't get the coordinate for this address. So you can see the address, the geocoding process is going on. So all this red alert means the API could not retrieve the coordinate for the address. And that is why if you check the file I shared, you see that there are some missing coordinates. There are some missing coordinates. So it's because the API could not retrieve the address. So you can see it's done, and it's pretty fast. So here you can even click on create map, and then you can view it on the map. So it's a nice tool. It's a nice tool. Let me see. It's a very nice tool. So just get your spreadsheet, Google Spreadsheet, then install the add-on under using get add-on, then use it. So that was how I arrived at that. So now let's import it into our QGIS environment. So here I have the data here. Look at it. The data has spatial columns, longitude and latitude. And it would be nice for me to mention at this point that there is what is known as geographical coordinate system. In fact, I don't want to go into detail into that because something is complicated. If I'm going to explain that in detail, it will probably scare so many of you away, and many people will lose interest. But that is not the point, by the way. So let me clean up this. I'm going to remove this, and then instead of removing this, let me say minimize. I don't need it for now, so I minimize it. So I have a clean QGIS environment for the second project. So how do I import this kind of data that has spatial columns into our QGIS environment? So to do that, you can use the layers menu, then add delimited text layer. So remember, the other time we use add vector layer because the CSV file doesn't have longitude and latitude. So because this one has longitude and latitude, we need to use this very option. On the icons on the toolbar, it is available here. So if you click on add delimited text layer, it will take you to the same window. So layer, add delimited text layer. So you can see this is it, delimited text layer. So I can now click on browse to select the file. So the file name is Project 2, NIMC Enrollment Center, FCT Enrollment Center. So I'll click on open. So as you can see, it's a CSV file, and automatically the X field for longitude and then the Y field for latitude are automatically selected. So this is very important for you to plot these enrollment centers as points. So this is the coordinate reference system I was trying to talk about, but I'm not going to go into details. At this level, just use WGS 84. There are thousands of coordinate systems, but just use WGS 84. Except otherwise, anywhere the coordinate system is not stated, then it is probably the global coordinate system, which is WGS 84. So just use it. That is all I can say about coordinate system. Let me not at least bore you with some technical jargons. So this is that. So this is the most important settings you need to do. Then you need to click on add, then close. So automatically you see that we have some points being displayed on the what? On the map. So if I on back my map, let me leave this. Let me add a new blank map of Nigeria so that we'll see where the states, where the points are falling. So I can go back to my add vector layer, then navigate to my shapefile. Make sure you select shapefile here, then state. So this is Nigerian state. And as you can see, this is the points we just imported. So the points are actually supposed to be enrollment centers in Abuja, but some of them are falling way far away from Abuja. So it means something is wrong. But at least compared to the numbers, when we compare the numbers, those within Abuja premises are more than those that are outside Abuja premises. So at least we can give our geocoding service, let's say 80 or let's say 70%, 70 to 80% score. I don't know if that one makes sense, but at least 70 to 80% score is okay. So let's assume that the geocoding service was good enough and it gave us these locations. So these are the enrollment centers in Abuja. And if I wish, I could have gone to edit these ones and even include those missing coordinates, but I won't waste much time on that. And this is just a clear sign of what you come across when you are carrying out a real life assignment. You definitely come across coordinates that are very bad. In fact, some will even fall outside the country. Let me zoom on that layer to see if we have anyone. Aha. As you can see, we have a coordinate here. We have a point here. We have a point here that falls out of Nigeria entirely. This is Nigeria. This is falling probably in Ghana, or no, this is far away from Ghana. This should be somewhere in America. So it's far away. It's somewhere in America. Let me check the distance. Where is my distance? Where is my measuring tool? So this is a measuring tool. You can use this measure tool to measure the line. So let me quickly check it. So this from Nigeria to this point. How far? How far is it? Let me. This is about 10 kilometers. Am I right? No, 10,000 kilometers. Yeah, this is 10,000 kilometers. So from here to here is 10,000 kilometers. So this is probably falling somewhere in another continent. So these are some of the challenges you come across. So you need to at least make sure that your data is clean and your data is reliable before you venture into your analysis. But at this point, let's assume that this is okay, this is correct for us. This data is what we want, and we can include it in our analysis. So you can beautify the map. You can right-click on the enrollment centers and then label them. You can work on the size of the distance of the points. Let's increase it to 8. You can change the color to maybe red. Then we can label the points. So let's use location as the label. Let's buffer it with white background. So these are our locations. If it is too clumsy, we can go back, can double click or right click and select properties. Then go to under label, we can reduce the font size. Maybe let's use 7. Apply. Let me just leave it at 10. But you can decide to control which point, which label appear at what zoom level. But I won't go into that in this training because time is not longer on our side. So I can put the displacement maybe at the top right corner. Apply, and then to appear just like that. Then this, I can change the background of this map, symbology. Instead of filling it, I'll make it polo, no brush, just like that. So then I can take my screenshots or export it as an image. And then I can include it in my reports. These are enrollment centers in FCT. I hope you got the idea. This is not a super fancy map, but at least you got the idea. And basically, this is what we did here. And that ends the second project. So the second project, we started from geocoding. We have names. To recap, we have just names or addresses of places, and then we geocoded their GPS coordinates. So the reverse geocoding will now be, you have GPS coordinates, and then you are getting the names back. So it's possible. So there are APIs that you can use in doing that, in which Google is one of them. Google has a super powerful API tools for mapping purpose. So you shouldn't hesitate to at least check out some of these APIs made available by Google. So this is project 2. Then project 3. This is where I asked you to fill this very form. So let me open up the form and see whether if we have any record there. Where do I even find the form? Okay, I think I have it here on my Google Drive. Open form. Okay, this is the form. Let me check the response. Okay, I have just seven response. Okay. So well, let me give some time so that I can even take a cup of water before then. At least let's try to fill up this form. You don't need to put your real information there. You can just put just anything, but the essence of the form is to make you at least lay your hand on something practical. Try something before the end of this training. The GPS coordinate of the location here is just your name. If you don't want to put your name, don't worry. Put any name. Put your nickname. It doesn't matter. Then this is the latitude and longitude of your location. So you can get the latitude and longitude of your location. You can use this service. That long net. That long.net. You can use this service to get the GPS longitude and latitude of your location. And how do you do that? Simply go navigate to wherever your location is. For example, my location is somewhere here. I'm close to Abuja. From Abuja, Masaka, Kefi. I'm here. I'm in Nasarawa. Yes, I'm in Nasarawa. Just in case if you don't know, I'm talking to you from this remote location, this remote village in Nasarawa town. This is where I am. So I'll just locate my location somewhere here. Of course, I'm not going to show you my real location, but I will show you somewhere close. let me take you to somewhere close to my location. Yeah, I think I should be somewhere close to here. Yeah, let me just say here. So I'll click, and then I'll get the GPS coordinate. Yeah, you can even see the satellite imagery here. Yeah, that's my house. I can see my house, but I won't point at the house. So this is the GPS location. So copy it, use it to fill the form. So longitude and latitude, that's how you got it. That's how you get it. Then the last question there is just the network. This one too, you don't need to be sincere. Just choose any option here. Doesn't matter. So all we are going to do is just to visualize this. So let me give you some moments. Let me give you about 2 to 3 minutes to fill the form, and then we can move on with the third project. I have 7. So I think if I have 10, I can move on. I have 8 now. So I have 8. I can have 10, 11, 12. We're about 31 participants in the room. At least if I can have half of the number, 15, that would be fair. So please, you can prepare your questions, prepare your observations and other things. And remember to access the material from these links. There are links. I'm going to repaste the link to this training material in the chat section. So I have it in the chat section. I've just posted it in the chat section. Well, let me bring it up on screen. So this is it. If you have not gotten a copy of the material and the data we use, this is the link. So let me post it on the chat section. So you're free to copy it, download the material, and then we'll move on. So let me refresh my phone. Press phone 8. Let me give additional 1 minute. Let me copy the form. This is the form I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the form. So I'll just give additional 1 minute. If I refresh and your data is not there, then that's all. Move on. Okay, let's move on. So I'm going to copy the data from my phone. So I have 8 entries, so I'm going to download it. So this is it. So I have timestamp. This is the name column. Let me quickly rename it, or let me copy it to Excel. So I'll copy it. I could have even downloaded it, but let me just copy paste. So copy paste. Open a new Excel and paste it. So let me clean up the columns. So the first column is timestamp, it's okay. The second column is name. So let me remove this question mark. So this should be latitude. Then this should be longitude. Then this should be, let me just call it telecom network. Telecom network. Yeah. Then I now need to save it. So you can see this is a typical process of getting your data, cleaning it, and then using it for your what? For your analysis. So you can see I've gotten the data. Now I'm clean. Now I'm trying to convert it to a friendly format GIS environment. So I need to save it as a CSV file. So go to save as. Then instead of saving it as a workbook, I need to save it as a comma delimited file. So let me go back to my location. Where's my location? So this is where my data location is. Okay, the path. Navigate, then give it a friendly name. So what name do I give it? What's the project? The project is project 3. And on this. So project 3 underscore 3 and on Qgis. I think this name is okay. So click on save. Okay, I think something is wrong. I need to remove this special character. Yeah. So I need to remove the column there. So save. Okay. Okay. So you can see we saved it with all sorts of formatting. But if you save it as a CSV file, it will clean up all these necessary formatting. That is why I always make use of CSV file. So let me close it and then open it again so that you see what I'm doing. So here's our newly saved file. So if I open it, you see that the file is as clean as a clean car. So QGIS doesn't like all those unnecessary formatting. All those bold, italics. Some fonts are bigger than others. Maybe this one is 20, and things like that. You know what I'm talking about. It is common with Excel. With Excel will maintain all your formatting. If you copy a content from the web and paste it in Excel and save it as an Excel document, Excel will maintain those formatting. But CSV will clean up all those unnecessary formatting and then keep the pure broad text. So here we have the longitude and the latitude. So it means we can add it in our QGIS environment as a delimited text layer. But if you look at what we have here, some coordinates seems to be from a different location, a different country. Like this row, I'm not sure what country is this, but we'll see. We'll see. Then this we also have another person here. This coordinate could also be from another country, but definitely not Nigeria. Nigeria is within the coordinates, the longitude and latitude of Nigeria are within 8 and 10. Both longitude and latitudes are no more than are within the range of 8 and 10. That is a known fact. So anything outside the range of 8 and 10, then you are probably from somewhere, right? So let's see what we have. So I'll go back to my QGIS environment. I can off this layer, then zoom to Nigeria. Then let me import my data. So I'll go to add the delimited text layer. Then go to where I have the data. So I think it's here. Open it, double click to open it, and then you have the X field is always for longitude, then the Y field is always for latitude. And then remember we are on WGS 84, the global coordinate reference system. Then I click on add. Then I close this window. So this is what we have. Name. By name using the field that So let's continue. I'm choosing purple for the point color. So I click on apply and I click on OK. So these are the points. So this attendant is in Lagos based on his location. Then this FedEx is somewhere in, is it Abuja or Niger State? He's probably in Suleja. And this guy is in Abuja. This me in Nasarawa. Yes. Innocent is also in Abuja, but very close to Nasarawa boundary, maybe in Nyanya or Maraba. So this is how you obtain data, clean it, prepare it, clean it, and then bring it into the QGIS environment for further analysis. So there are a lot of things you can do. A lot of things. There are a lot of things you can do. You can imagine this could just be like an assignment for an officer within the commission. Okay, the DG wants you to get like an average location of all the staffs, all the staff, so that they could locate a facility or a new office within the city. So this is a good assignment. This is how you can pass through the process of getting it done. So it's not a magic. It's as simple as ABC. At least you have seen how we collected this data from scratch, and then we're able to plot it into QGIS environment, and then we can carry on with our analysis. So I would definitely like to stop here, give room for other interactions, questions, and other interactions. And I hope I have done justice to the whole training exercise. So I would also like to mention that if it is possible, the training organizer can organize a platform for us for post-training interaction. Maybe where we have questions, where we can attend to questions and attend to some issues after the training. Because definitely, this is not something you learn in just 2 hours or 3 hours. It is something you will learn over time. Me, in particular, I've been using QGIS for the past 10 years. I've been working with it for the past 10 years. And I will confess, there are some tools here that I have never touched them. A lot of tools that I've never touched. I lie. Because every day, every year, they keep improving the software. So it's not something you will definitely learn in 2 hours or 3 hours. You need consistent, you need practice to get familiar with it. So at this point, I would like to thank you for listening and then hand over the microphone to our chief organizer to say one or two, and we can now interact with available questions, or if there is any observation, or if there is any query. So thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. I actually wish we could just give you and your colleague a beautiful round of applause, but we appreciate a great deal what you've done. So we'll open up for questions. If there might be anyone who has any question, would you please just go ahead? I think we still have a few more minutes.
I think this has been a fantastic training session. So I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, in the absence of any more questions and comments, I wish I could just upload what my own team have been saying behind the scene in our chat room here in the Strategy and Program Office, because we had received a couple of assignments from the DG Chief Executive, and I know that the training has wowed them a great deal. In fact, what they were doing initially, someone just said that it was manual labor.
Hello?
Shall I do you have a question? Shall I?
For the training. I'm wondering, the shapefiles that was loaded, to display the map of Nigeria, and then we can interact with it. Where can we get such shapefiles for other locations within Nigeria, let's say a particular local government area? Or is there a way to actually create them on our own?
Okay. Okay, I think I got the question. You're asking about where to get the shapefiles for other location, other places in Nigeria. So I made mention of this particular website. Let me quickly turn to my browser to show you the website. So I made reference to this website as an example of where you can get more shapefile, where you can get shapefile data. So here you can download 3 levels of the administrative boundary of Nigeria, including local governments of the entire states, of all the states in Nigeria. So if you still can't get what you want here, you could walk into any of these relevant ministries or agencies to seek for the data. For example, you can walk to the office of the Surveyor General to get some of this data, some of this shapefile data. You can also go to some of these land ministries. For example, like in Abuja, you can go to Qgis or FCD to get some of this boundary data or some of this administrative data. But if you are just looking for state level and then the local government level, I think what you have on this website is enough for you. I hope I've answered your question, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome. Any other question?
Okay, just to find out, Mr. Yusuf, what's your preferred mode of setting up a support group like you called it? Is it via WhatsApp or something?
Yes, I think WhatsApp would be enough. WhatsApp would be enough.
All right.
You can just create a WhatsApp group and add interested members here, and then we can interact. Sometimes everybody's appointed instead of participant contacting me individually. I think it would be better you have a group, because you see that a question that will be asked by somebody will be a question that somebody wanted to ask, and it will be answered, and that will be it. So I think WhatsApp is okay.
All right, thank you very much.
But if you have a different channel, I'm also open to whatever channel. Yeah.
All right. Our DG CEO has been with us every step of the way. Maybe we'll turn some time to him to simply wrap up. DG, if you're there and listening, the time is yours, please.
Well, I don't know. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, sir.
There's also echo here. Okay, so thank you very much. Towards the end, I couldn't hear very well from my end, but I can see what is happening. So I don't know, you're on there should be some form of evaluation form so that we'll hear from people that have attended the training, whether it is useful or not. But I believe that everybody have been seeing some maps that have been producing based on our own work. And I met Umar online because I have searched sometimes maybe 2016, 2015, I think, December. I was searching for some data, and then I saw his website and what he has done with some Nigerian data. And then I now sent him email to ask him if he has data for so because for the maps in Nigeria, because I was using Python bouquet, and then he responded. And from that time, then we established a relationship, and he came up here in the office too, that we had meeting. So, and I've seen that, you know, the saying is that a picture worth 1,000 of words, and you can see what he has shown us. We have tried to do some of this geocoding and whatever, going to Google Map and to try to get the addresses, and you can see the simpler ways that he has shown some people that have tried before. I believe this introductory training have just opened the path for us. Like even yesterday, I was reading about the 3 R's that all of us have learned way back from primary school is that of reading. The second R is writing. You understand? That is the R from the W. And then the third R is arithmetic. So reading, writing, and arithmetic. That is what we were taught from kindergarten or primary 1. And that is what we have been doing up to now. So what Umar have shown us is the 3 R's of GIS. That is the how to read the GIS, how to write GIS, and also how to do the arithmetic of GIS. But to be an expert in this field, you need to do more and more work. And I believe that probably he also have to come back and then show us many other things in future. So this is the new norm, that we don't need to get people, we don't need to gather people. People can be from any places, and then we could be able to gather and get an expert that will open up these 3 R's for us, and we'll just take it up from there. So I would like to thank Umar for giving us his time, despite the initial hitches of technical thing. I thought it would take like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So, but when it's taking 1 hour, so I had to now intervene. But because we are all just trying to get online now, so it is acceptable to have this kind of problems initially, but I believe that as we move forward, we'll be able to perfect this type of training, and it's just the beginning and the new norm. So thank you very much for all the participants, and thank Alvan for organizing, and also Dr. Ba for being the behind the scene of pushing everything. And I saw Bolaji also on the training. Therefore, we know that he will not say there's no money by the time that the bills come to his desk. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Let me hand you over to Alvan. Keep safe. The 3 R's, that is reading, writing, and arithmetic of GIS. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, our trainers, and thank you, every participant.
Bye, sir.
All the best. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
This evaluates the navigation and workshop.